So oftentimes on YouTube, you hear that you absolutely need a second body as a backup. The problem is that the people who tell you that are either professional photographer, and most of you who are watching this channel aren't. They also have enough money to buy several bodies, and sometimes those bodies are sent by the same companies that produce the cameras. Well, I have a different opinion on the matter for most of us who are not professional photographers. So in today's video, let's discuss about what I believe would be a better investment for you if you're trying to get a new camera, and why I believe that a second camera body is not the best investment that you could make. My first point is that most of the people who are watching this channel are not professional photographers. When you're a professional photographer, it is important to have redundancy because you're providing a service and you cannot let technical issues get in the way of providing that particular service. However, if you're not a professional photographer, having redundancy in your kit can actually be quite limiting and should not be a priority for you. And at the end of the day, too much redundancy ends up being just dead weight in your bag or something to catch dust on your shelf. So if you're not a professional photographer, don't place such a high priority on redundancy, but try to have diversity in your kit. And that brings me to my second point, creativity over redundancy. If you have the budget for another camera and you're trying to grow your kit, instead of buying a camera body with a higher megapixel count, or maybe more frames per second, or with a slightly better quality of sensor, I would suggest to buy a piece of gear that would allow you to create completely different kind of images. Having, for example, an X-T4 if you're shooting Fujifilm, and an X-T3 is not really gonna give you anything except redundancy, or maybe allow you not to change lenses, not as often, right? But if you're trying to give different angles, different point of view to your viewers, at the end of the day, having a second camera body that does pretty much the same thing is not gonna help you. What is gonna help you is to have a piece of gear that will showcase completely different capabilities. So what served me the most apart from my Fujifilm X-T4 is definitely a drone. Having a drone allowed me to explore areas that I have never explored before, that I could not explore with my feet, to showcase the beauty of places that I visited that I could not showcase if I was just having this particular body right here, and more simply put, to create different kind of pictures. It is in a way a second camera body, but it's a body that does completely different things compared to my X-T4. By combining both cameras, my X-T4 and the drone that I own, I am able to give different point of views, which allows me to tell better stories, give more viewpoint and angles to the viewer, and overall create better pictures. I personally opted at first for the DJI Mavic Mini line. And actually, I think that DJI just released the Mavic Mini 3. So if you're looking for a drone, I think that's a good consumer-oriented drone to look at. But currently, I own the DJI Air 2S, which is a little bit stronger and stable when it comes to harsh conditions like wind, etc. But honestly, I think that pretty much all the drones released by DJI recently can do the work. So if you're in a position where you already have one camera body and you're looking to get a second one, I would suggest to get a drone instead. Any drone from DJI, depending on your budget, will do the trick and will serve you much more than just getting a second camera body. Now let me know if you want more information about drones, if you want a review of the drone that I have, the DJI Air 2S, and also let me know if you yourself own a drone and share about your experience down in the comments. And if you want to know more about how to tell a better stories using your gear, check out this video right here, where I'll describe all the process and all the methods that I use to tell better stories. See you there.